What's up, nerds? Back with another lifting vlog. We're doing stuff a little bit different on today's leg day, and I thought it would be a good video, so hopefully you stick around. Anyway, today's leg day starts off a little bit different than most, so I am speeding up the video, but hopefully despite the speeding up of the video, you can tell that I am doing pause squats, and we're not really going quite heavy at all. We're just doing 135s for today. In the future, obviously, I'm going to work up, one in increments of 20. We're going to do 155 next week, and then after that, 175. And so I try not to do too much rest in between sets. There are some people that do like 2-3 minutes, whatever. I try to keep it to a max minute and a half, something like that. And so you can tell nice and deep here. We're getting as close to astrogras, as close to full range of motion as I possibly can. I've got the safety bars set pretty low because I am doing my best to go as deep and as close to my personal fuck up point as I can possibly get. And the fuck up point for me when doing astrogras is that space right below where your the powerlifting squat session, like powerlifting rules are. So you can see that I like to go nice and slow, give a little bit of a pause, and then after that, get down and then get back up. And that's because for me, this is my ideal squat form. I don't have any crunching of my knees. I don't have any of the popcorn knees in this area. My stance is a little bit wide, but that's okay. And so I'm really focusing on not doing a butt wink when I get to the bottom and holding that point right before I get to that section, and then on the way up, blasting through it. So it's really focusing on keeping my core engaged, really focusing on keeping my core strength strong, and then after that, bursting through that point and just making sure that I'm not losing my squat structure, I'm not losing any form, and I'm just really, for me, this is the leg workout aspect of it is maybe not as intense if I was squatting, 220 plus. I think right now I could probably get up to 275, 290 on squats, but that's obviously not astrogras. I can do technical squats. I can get parallel or below. However, which is fine for powerlifting competitions. However, for health and wellness, for the sake of fitness, prowess, or whatever, I think it's important to be able to do nice astrogras squats with good form and, nice weight. And eventually the goal is to get to 225, 2 plates on the side and have real nice astrogras controlled, powerful squats. That's my end game. But it's also just I think that this is just a great way to, have a good squat day, get a good pump leg squat session, and you're not doing insane weights. You're not, for example, some people, they might not be able to do crazy huge numbers on the squat rack. And this is a great way to have your legs and have everything in your core, have your glutes, have everything activated without pushing insane numbers and without putting a whole lot of strain on your body. And then again, I'm mainly listening to music. I leave all this stuff in just because I want to show people what it's like, realistically in the gym. It's not like I'm sitting around doing nothing. I don't go sit down, on the bench for 2 minutes in between squats. I'm there keeping myself engaged, just going through music, getting a good vibe for the next set, and then bada bing, bada boom, pop back under the bar and get back at it. So I love this squat, like way to start the squat day. And then after that, lower the bar and get ready for our next exercise. And that's going to be some Romanians, lifted or deficit Romanians. I like to wear my little lifting gloves because this is not a super huge heavy weight that I really necessarily need the lifting gloves. I just like to keep everything super tight, like to keep everything. It just helps for me. It helps with the mind muscle connection. You know, when I've got a like death grip on the bar or the ability to keep the death grip on the bar, I don't think about my hands. I focus entirely on my glutes, entirely on my hamstrings, focus on the form, which is a nice hip hinge going all as close to down as I can, and then exploding up. And I try to keep my chest up because I don't want to bend over and have a curved back. I'm really focusing on the hip hinge and really focusing on, again, that squeeze with the glutes. And this is, I love Romanians. They're one of my favorite exercises. And I might not have the exact perfect form yet. However, I could tell you after personal experience, my hamstrings are feeling it, Mr. Krabs, with this form and with this technique. And so we're going to end up doing some sort of auxiliary pump machines. I mean, not pump. I mean, like we're training our muscles today pretty good. But it is definitely a barbell start and a machine finish. And part of it's also because the gym was not packed today, but when you've got a gym like mine where a lot of people stop by and you see that there's a squat rack open, I mean, you don't question it. You don't say, "Oh, maybe I could go do some of these and then come back do something else, then come back and do some of these." No. When the squat rack is open, you're getting the most out of that squat rack. So that's why we did essentially the front. Like I personally, again, with the low pause squats, you're activating everything. However, some people can really only work on their quads with squats if they don't have, depending on what form they're using. So for me, it's kind of like a front and back. It's like, okay, I get the quads in the front with the squats, and then after that, I get the hamstrings in the back. And so afterwards, it takes me a little while to get this machine because we had a couple people at the gym. It was a pretty busy day today. So after that, hamstring, we're gonna go and we're gonna do the hamstring curl machine, and that's just because I'm a big believer in blasting the hamstrings. I do a lot of bicep work for upper body because I fucked up my wrist, which made it so I have an imbalance of my biceps. So I do a lot of bicep work to help balance that out. And I thankfully have not fucked up my legs, but I believe that the hamstrings are the biceps of the legs. Like, they are part of they're one of the biggest muscles, and if you want to have big legs, if you want to at least look like you have big legs, you got to work out the hamstrings. And so I don't mind throwing in an extra hamstring machine, even though we just did our Romanians. Then after that, going over to the leg extension. These machines, I'm trying to go as heavy as I can because I'm really trying to focus more on getting back into compound exercises, getting back into barbell exercises, and the machines are a little quote unquote easier than some of the barbell or compound exercises. I mean, I still try to push it. I'm still trying to be, involved in my reps. But I'm not going to lie, there are a lot of people out there that, consider machine work to be less productive or, less beneficial when compared to barbell work or for legs, for example, squats are king. Anything other than squats is a waste of time. And I definitely agree with some of that. But it's actually been real nice. I've been making very good leg progress. I've just been making good progress overall since I've been back in the gym and lifting with intent. Actually, this is my first week maxing out the leg extension machine. So this was I think the rack right now is on 265, 275, something like that, which is, I'm loving that because, again, my squat max right now is just about, 275, 290, somewhere around there. So having the leg extension maxed out somewhere around there is good practice for when I do get to that weight on squats, and I know I'm able to control stuff like that. And I actually switch it up from here. We had some EDM music going through the headphones, and then we're switching it over to some rock, so you could see me jamming along with some rock. I think I could play the air guitar I play a nasty air guitar. And again, for most of these sets, I know I'm sped up, so you could count the speed up, but I'm mostly doing 5x5s, or if I'm not doing 5x5s, I'm doing 4x8s or 3x10s, somewhere around there. Right now, I'm not recording my reps explicitly. Once I get back into once I get back into an area where it's actually important, or it feels like I'm not like wasting my time with this, but for me, this is, I'm not back to the lifting capacity that I was at. So once I get back to a lifting capacity where I feel like it's not again, quote unquote, waste of time to record my numbers, then I'll start recording. But for now, I know the feel of my previous lifts. I know the feel of where my strength was at before. So once I start getting, back into that zone, then I'll start recording my numbers. But for now, I am kind of just going by feel and by set numbers. I know that essentially I'm also going by time. That's one of the other reasons why I like to leave all of these clips just as big sections, because essentially I'm doing between 10 and 12 minutes per machine with about 4 or 5 breaks in between. So as long as I do that and I'm lifting good reps and I'm not taking too many breaks in between, I know that I'm making progress, and that's just because, again, I've trained with numbers in the past, recording everything. I've trained with personal trainers in the past, and so it's just experience at that point. And then after that, I'm ending the day with some back work, and this was actually mainly because I didn't get on camera. So today was leg day, mainly leg day. However, the day before this, it was back day, and I didn't have my camera, so I couldn't record anything. So I figured I would just end it with some just kind of pumping, just some body reminder work. Not like reminding you guys or reminding me or anything, but just to get it on camera, because yesterday before this, oh my God, the gym was packed to the fucking gills. I mean, there was 2 to 3 people on every single machine in the gym, on every single squat rack. It was fucking brutal. And so what I ended up doing was coming over here to the assisted pull-up machine, and I literally did an hour of pull-ups and dips. And I did some of the neutral grip, full body kind of bicep muscle up, pull up kind of things. I did some wide grip, upper lat or upper trap, upper back, pull ups. And then I did some dips just for to round out everything with some tricep and a little bit of chest thrown in there. And that was, again, just because, like, holy shit, there was just so many people at the gym that I couldn't get any machines. I couldn't get anything. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to sit here and blast this shit out. So that's why I figured I'd add it at the end of this, go over it very quickly, because normally I like to do two or 3 days per lifting vlog. I like to do a back and biceps, a chest and triceps, and then a leg in each video. But since I didn't get that, we're just going to do just a quick show you what I did. Even though I made a video about this before, just wanted to go over it again real quick because I love this kind of like muscle up, high chest, full body back pull up thing. God, it's absolute killer. But that's today's video. It was a real great day in the gym, and I hope you enjoy.